Welcome everybody to start. Oh, whoop.
Cut it.
Uh, cut that one. Cut that one.
That's staying in.
All right, all right. I was looking at a different note and trying to do two things at once.
Man.
All right, and a 3 and a 2 and a 1.
I've never said anything too funny or too regretful.
You definitely never said anything too funny.
Oh, appreciate you.
Did you see the first?
Our first
Yeah,
interview.
the first interview.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
To Star Wars, Marvel, DC, D&D, literally like there's something for everybody.
And then she says, "What's a nerd?" I said, it's another word for an amazing, awesome person.
Right on.
Welcome everybody to Connoisseur Pod, your home for celebrating all things comic convention and nerd culture. I'm AJ Hester. I'm joined by my co-hosts Kent Lawley and Cody Howell, and the connoisseur himself, Matt Hodges. The pod just got back from Huntsville, Alabama, experiencing the Huntsville Comic and Toy Expo. We'll be reviewing that tonight. But before we get into that, somebody tell me something nerdy.
All right, Cody's going last. Matt, you want to go first or you want me to go?
No, you can go first.
All right. Well, I have been watching a new anime. I'm definitely on Clone Wars and reinvigorize. I'm actually gonna maybe start it over, and watch it with 100% attention. Just try and catch every little thing because of the Expo that we were at this weekend. We did a Star Wars Clone Wars panel. It was super awesome. It had humor and heart and insight, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, just seeing them interact. That was all great and everything. But my nerdy thing, I'm gonna leave that for later. My nerdy thing is I'm about 8 episodes into an anime called, well, of course I'm gonna blank on the name right this second, but dang it.
Cut it.
Cut that. It's like
Any minute now. See, this is what you get for not going full tilt into Clone Wars to allow your attention
this is payment. This is
to
punishment.
wander.
100%.
Where
I
are
had to
you, where are
guess
you
for you-
watching it?
On
Sorry.
Hulu. Yeah, I was trying to Google it just now. I'm gonna Google it the simple way.
What's it
If I had to
about?
guess,
It's yeah, Loner Life in Another World. I figure that's
Okay.
super obscure and pretty nerdy. It's goofy. It's pretty fun. I figure it's a little bit different. I figure we'll probably get into some Clone Wars and stuff. Given our recent adventures, so I'd put that one aside. But yes, I definitely should have gone with that one, and I'm wondering how much of all of that mess will make it into the final cut. We'll see how the editor feels.
Nice. Yeah, just same as last week. Outside of the con, Shadow Lord, Daredevil Born Again have been my fixes. Looking forward to this weekend. I've been it's coming up. I'll be running some games at KibaCon, so that was a thing we did. Just doing a little bit of prep for that. I'll be running a Marvel tabletop RPG game this weekend, so doing a little bit of prep for that last week. And yeah, but if you're in the Nashville area, and if this episode comes out before April 25th, you listen, come by KivaCon. Could win a cool Baldur's Gate 3 poster. And so
what all goes through or goes into running said Marvel tabletop game?
So the cool thing about the Marvel Tabletop RPG is like you can create your own character, but that's not really where the fun is. Each book has pre-made like Marvel heroes, so you can just be like, I'm playing this one. So with that game, it's literally just whatever campaign I can think of, our one shot. I just pick out some villains from it, from the books I have, and then I just improv a story through and kind of let them find their way to the villains that I play. And that's kind of my DM style too. Is just I'll have like a skeleton structure, and then it's a sandbox, and you can just kind of get there where you want. With my Marvel games, especially at like convention type things, when I run them, it is very much here's a MacGuffin, protect the MacGuffin from the villain who's trying to catch it, and I have points that they try to get to. The first time I ran it, I had the Power Stone as the MacGuffin, and I used my replica Power Stone that I have. And this time, I'm going to use the Tesseract, because at Huntsville, I bought the Tesseract and the Ether, but I hadn't decided on which one I'm going to use. The Tesseract's a little bit easier to carry around, so probably use the Tesseract.
Yeah.
that's
Be
very
sure
cool.
to take a lot of pictures and such while you're involved in all that.
But yeah, we'll do.
My nerdy thing outside of the con was Maul, Shadow Lord also. I can't words don't, there's just nothing that applies. I can't tell you how great this freaking show is. If you like animation, if you like Star Wars, and you really don't even have to like Star Wars at all. This is just, the story's so great. It's kind of like a detective noir situation on top of the, Star Wars involved. And again, Sam Witwer's so fantastic. The animation's ridiculous. The music, again, Kevin Kiner is just a master. Watched the newest episodes today and just can't get enough. So, watch it. Can't watch Clone Wars, so you can then watch this.
I am working. I guess I won't restart. I'll just mark where I'm at, and I'm gonna go back and do a more attention to detail real rewatch up to the point that I'm at. But I've been paying attention. It's a fantastic show and everything, but I've definitely been watching it with the idea of getting through with it to get to Shadow Lord. And now it's, first off, it's good enough to warrant full attention by itself, and it just is getting better and better. But then secondly, yeah, getting a little bit more personal taste and insight into it has really got me jazzed for it.
Well, and you've got to be getting close to Maul's return too, so buckle up, Buttercup. Here it comes.
I'm ready.
I'm
ready.
That's straight from Dave Filoni. Pretty sure that's what he says.
Yep.
It's like a Dave Filoni quote.
Nice. All right.
Cody?
Well, I was thinking, and I was gonna do Invincible or The Boys. I mean, I'm watching both of those. I don't even know that The Boys is nerdy anymore. I think it's almost mainstream. So many people have watched it, and so many people are in the show now. So those are both good, but if I really think about what I'm doing nerdy, it's always the game. So maybe this part of the show is just going to become my recap of whatever I'm working on in the game.
I'm here for that.
So last week it was kickoffs, kick returns, like the last few weeks it was that. And I always have to revisit things and tweak them, but the primary focus for this last week or so, and it will continue to be the focus, has been basically completing the gameplay loop. So you start in the overworld, you pick your level, you play the football game, then you get your rewards, you go back to the over level and repeat. And I basically have the basic functions, have the skeleton of the gameplay loop there. So that was exciting, and that part's more fun for me than editing movement speed and movement angle and that stuff. I like the the little math problems you'll have with that, but you can get worn down when you're dealing with lots of things interacting with each other. But then for the game loop, I'm just adding attribute points, new items that change your character's attributes, little conversations you're having with the shopkeeper, that kind of stuff. And then now that I have like I said, the skeleton, the basic function in there, I can just start adding to it instead of having to create it from scratch. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm excited about it.
I think
What
so. Wait.
item? Yeah, we all are. What and so is the fan, I'm sure.
So is the fan.
What kind of items are going to be at the shop?
So right now, you and I talked about it. The shopkeeper, and this will change because I think I've taken it too far, but I used the inspiration of Bobby Boucher from Waterboy to create the shopkeeper and then create several of the items. But I do want to branch out from that. I want to keep the inspiration of Bobby Boucher in there, but I don't want to just rip him off. And that's kind of what I've done so far. And also one Forrest Gump thing. So one of the things is Mr. Coach Klein's notebook. So right now you can get Mr. Coach Klein's notebook, and that improves your intellect. And for now, intellect doesn't do a whole lot for a player character because you're going to make the decisions. Mostly the intellect right now affects the enemy characters. So I'm still figuring out how to integrate that into the gameplay. An enemy character, the intellect is going to change how long they'll follow a defender before they go for the quarterback. It will change how long after a ball's in the air that they'll chase the ball instead of continuing to cover their man. And it's all little stuff like that. It's basically what you would want a smart player to do in real life. I'm trying to make the characters do that. So that's one item. And then I'll just go over one other. I think I have 6 items right now, but a lot of them are going to change. And then the other one I have that I'll mention is magic shoes. So that's inspired by Forrest Gump. And that's really simple. It just increases your speed if you have those, but it's stuff like that. So the attributes are basic, what you would expect from a football game. But then you get items that improve them like you would in an RPG. And then you'll have one for strength. You'll have one for blocking. You'll have one for throw accuracy. So anything that seems like it would be for a tank is going to be similar to a tank in an RPG, so that item will be similar to what you would expect to get for a tank. QB improvements are going to be more like what you would want for a mage or a wizard or sorcerer, that kind of thing. So that's where I'm going with it. But I haven't really fleshed out most of the items. I've just got the framework there.
Well, it's a solid framework. I'm excited about it. I know we in the fan are excited about it. So
Thanks, fan.
There are at least 4 people excited about it between us and the fan. At the items correlating to RPG games, I think is a really nice touch. Well done.
Well, it's, yeah, the whole idea of mixing the two areas, because I mean, you run into people all the time that are both into the fantasy genre, fantasy RPGs, and then obviously sports fans as well. So I think, in my humble opinion, I think it's a brilliant idea.
Thank you. And AJ, you know probably better than anybody that even when I play sports games, I tend to RPG them as much as I can. When we would play Madden, I would tend to get sidetracked creating a character and then going through whatever career mode I could to level up the character. It's like I suck at the gameplay, but I really like building the character.
Yeah, as soon as they allowed you to start adding towels and wristbands, it became a different level of building the character.
Yeah.
Well, again, the pod has just returned from yet another adventure. Matt, why don't you lead us into some con review?
Okay. Yeah. So I think, like, meeting celebrity wise, this was one of my busiest cons I think I've been to. I was at a lot of tables. I've almost filled up an entire binder of just stuff I got at that con. It was a very cramped place, I would say. There was another event going on, which we found out later, but it was like the entire con was along this one hallway and then in this one room. And I was like, there's a lot going on in this one room. But it's still a good time. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a lot easier to get into than Rupp was. But yeah, it was. I enjoyed it. I don't know what y'all think. I had a great time. Panels, meeting people.
Right off the bat, just anybody visiting the Von Braun Center in Huntsville, Alabama, ADA accessible. Didn't seem to really have any issue there. And I even got to ride ride Matt's wheelchair down an incline, which was pretty fun.
Yeah, and broke the leg.
Did I?
Yeah.
Damn it,
That
Soto.
sounds right.
I forgot that he didn't even know about that yet.
No, that's the
funny.
first I'm hearing of it.
Yeah, the leg holder for the injured foot is the one that bent and is broken. But luckily, I don't need the wheelchair anymore.
I was about to say, you're almost done.
For our one listener on Apple Podcast, I'm not almost done. He's lying.
Kenyatta?
Obviously, this one had a lot of highlights, specifically Connoisseur, the budding pod that we are of connoisseurs, led by the connoisseur himself, had some new experiences. Actually did some on-site interviews with the wonderful Kara Edwards, the wonderful Ross Marquand, and the amazing Sean Day. Kara Edwards she's the voice of so many characters, but what you might know her by most is the voice of Gotenks, Goten, and Videl from Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball series. She's amazing. She was so delightful, and just a lot of fun energy. So gracious with her time, and here we go.
Nice.
The connoisseurs hooking anybody up who can see on our visual platforms. Is very cool to meet her and see AJ and Matt interact with her. And then we got to meet and talk with Ross Marquand, who was just amazing with his time. And I think AJ, you've described him as a charmer, and that's not in a bad way. He's just a charming individual. I can't say enough good things about those two, and Sean as well. He's an artist that we met there. Just all of them, just so gracious with their time and a lot of insight and stuff that I really didn't expect to get, and they just they welcomed us and opened up right away. It was surreal, very, very cool, a lot of fun.
Yeah. So Ross I met before. The first time was Dragon Con in 2024, and I met him again earlier this year before we launched the podcast, and told him that this was something that we had planned, that we were going to start, and he was like, "Yeah, that sounds amazing. It sounds like it's gonna. There's a place for that." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool." And then, that was in February, and then we launched in March, and then in April we have an interview with him, and that was a very cool moment. And he remembered me, and then from that, and he's very gracious with his time, and was very concerned about my well-being, and because I stood for the interview, and he's like, "Are you sure about this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got it." But yeah, he was awesome. He's very personable. But yeah, he's just a cool guy, and gave us a lot of insight into how everything worked with Invincible, and getting that job, and it was really cool to talk to him about that. I'd seen him earlier in the con and told him a little bit more. Hey, the Pad podcast is launched, and he was like, I was like, how many? He asked me how many views we had, and I was like, oh, about 100 and over 100 on the first episode. He's like, that's pretty good for the first episode, and I'm like, oh, cool. That's so that was. He's been supportive the entire time, so it was really cool. That he's one of our first interviews.
Friend of the pod, Ross Marquand.
Friend of the pod.
I didn't mention what he's in. Obviously, Matt and AJ, you guys probably have a more extensive list. But Matt, you said Invincible, but Invincible, X-Men 97, and live action. You'll know his face from The Walking Dead. Played Aaron, a wonderful character from that. One of the last last people standing in the show. Obviously, that's a medal earned right there.
I mean, he was in Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War.
Yes, yeah.
And so that's a huge. Those are two of the hugest movies of all time, highest grossing movies of all time. And he was like, "Yeah, cool, I'll do this interview with y'all." And it was
extremely gracious with his time, very forthcoming with information. Cody, he brought up, and all three of these interviews will be released here soon within the days. Cody, he brought up going to Brazil for a con and how intense and packed that was. I didn't get a chance to tell him that we recently had a bit of a fanfare from Brazil, but it made me, and I think we all kind of looked around at each other and laughed when he said it.
Yeah, if you're watching the interview, I think the camera is shaking when he says that because I start to laugh.
Yeah. Our Brazilian fan base.
Oh, yeah.
He was.
Yeah, for anybody listening to this, I highly please go tune in to those interviews, not just for us, but to get to see these people and just how kind, that's just so kind, just really, really kind people. Very, very cool.
Oh, yeah.
And also,
I mean,
see Ross Marquand shake AJ.
and obviously our goals for this thing are to continue to grow and we want to talk to as many people from all levels of con goers as we can, but we're obviously super small potatoes right now, and for either of the celebrities or Sean, he'd been going to cons for 10 years. Like, it's not like he needs our help, but he was generous with his time also. But again, man, I've said it every fucking episode we've talked about this stuff, like the just graciousness of everybody involved. From I told Cody, I told Kent and Matt that somebody, like, I was standing out in the middle of an aisle, like being a goober, just looking at something. I just slowed my roll, and somebody bumped into me and was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "I'm in your way, dude. Don't apologize to me." But that's just the vibes of all of these that I've been to so far. It's just this community and graciousness, and I won't quit. Can't stop, won't stop.
And it's crazy how, like, even all these people who, like, Ross has seen so many people throughout these cons, for him to be able to be like, "Oh, I recognize these people from seeing him earlier." Also, someone who did that very well was Daniel Logan, young Boba Fett. And we came back to his table on Sunday, and he's like, "Guys, you're back." And I'm just, and he recognized us, and he was awesome to talk to. He got a new dog, so shout out his new dog, Rebel.
Shout out Rebel. He just a boy.
Yeah. So, but he was an awesome interaction to have, and we talked to him a little bit, and that was just like, oh, cool. And he recognized us and was excited to see us come back and see him. So, he was that was a good positive interaction, with him for sure. Let's see. Found another cool interaction I had last year when I went to Big Lick Comic-Con in DC. on the way back flying to Nashville, I sat next to Catherine Sutherland, Kat from the Power Rangers, and I got to see her again. And I was like, "Hey, I flew back with you to Nashville," and she's like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." And she even signed her autograph, my flight buddy, on there. So that was really cool to see her again. And that was someone I met outside of a con, and I was just like, "Oh, that's cool." I was on a flight back and met the Power Rangers, so it was cool to see her again. And they were awesome. Meeting them, and their panel was a lot of fun too. But
Yeah, absolutely. I guess AJ, you said to bring it up on the pod, the weird interaction that I had. I'm terrible at these group photo events next to gorgeous women, apparently. So we got a photo with Amy Jo and Catherine. It was awesome. They were awesome. They were delightful. But of course, go to put my arm around her. That time it works out well. No awkward put my arm around her. Me and Matt link up. It's perfect. She goes to put her arm around me. I didn't even think about I've got sweaty backpack back. And so her arm and hand, palm first, it's sweaty back, and I didn't realize it until her hand touched my back, and then I could feel the wet. I was like, ah, son of a bitch. Then we had to readjust for the photo. Matt's glasses caught some glare. She steps away to look at the photo and talk to the photographer, steps back a moment later, and definitely I felt the back of her hand / wrist, the second setup, and leaned away from me as I get it. So we tag her, let her know. I apologize, Amy Jo. I apologize.
Look, I bet you are not near the sweatiest person that she has touched at one of these things.
definitely not.
I get that
I
you
think
don't
that
want
was
to
the
be
problem, though.
Look at the
I don't look like a
any
sweaty
level
guy.
of sweaty though. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're not
I
a
don't
sweaty guy.
wasn't
Just a
expecting it.
backpack will do that.
Just a backpack got me. It got me. And then
Yeah.
got her. Poor Amy. But no, that was
See,
very cool. I mean,
seeing the Pink Rangers, the photo op was amazing. The panel was cool. I was just telling Michaela, my wife, that the panels, man, like it seems like every single one there's somebody that stands up at the microphone and says, "Your art or your work changed my life. You've saved my life." You know, something to that nature. And just every time I've been in a panel, I walk away just like wiping my eyes, like, "Oh, good God," you know. Uh, and there's a young lady that had viral meningitis or something to that nature,
Yeah.
and it was when the '90s the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie came out, and McDonald's had the toys, and I remember that vividly. I had the majority of them, I'm sure. Um, but her little brother brought her the White Ranger toy from McDonald's and said, "Here, sissy, Tommy will save you." And that has like, oh God, just choked up, man.
Yeah. I mean, the two panels we went to, the Power Ranger panel and the Clone Wars panel, there was some heavy stuff on both of those panels. That was just like, man, I didn't expect to come in here and tear up at this, but that's just that happens at a lot of the panels. I think at Dragon Con we sat on a Katie Sackhoff and Simon panel, and they were talking, and I was like, dang, didn't expect this to get sad. I thought we were going to talk about Star Wars, and then they go personal, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I get it.
Again, man. Again, like
Yeah.
Matt, I told you a million times, like you taking me to Dragon Con has broken my brain because all of these things are so these these humans, these grand artists, these people that um you know, they don't have to be so genuine. They don't have to be so open about anything, but I mean they are.
Yeah.
It's like they sit in a room of hundreds, if not 1,000 more or more people, and just kind of sit there and believe. And it's like there's no like nobody. You don't have to do that, but they do. And my gosh, man, and I was so glad for Kent to his first panel to be the Clone Wars panel because it was beautiful and welcoming and genuine. And Cody, I don't know what panel situation is going to be at Birmingham, but we're going to make sure to get in one for sure.
And I don't think
So-
I've ever. I mean, I know I haven't ever been to a panel at a con. As far as I know, I've just done the one Birmingham con with you, AJ.
Well, and I'm excited. Iron City Con, right? That's the name of
Iron
Birmingham.
City. Yeah.
Yeah. I intend for that to be something that we can get there early, spend all day, all 3 days, if that's something that we can do, and just really get you ingrained in the situation too, because if Kent can fall in love, anybody can fall in love. You know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
That's
So it's Iron City is a 2-dayer. It's May 30th and 31st. So we should be good to go. Hopefully. Let's see. I wonder if there's a panel schedule up. Probably not. Yeah, coming soon. But yeah, so
Well,
yeah, they were advertising at Huntsville, which is weird. I will say this: it's weird. I have never been to another con where there was a whole section when you walk in of other cons being advertised. That is not something I've ever been to and seen. So that was kind of neat. I did show some cons that were up that were like, oh, maybe we could go to that. But I was just like, huh, okay. I guess promoting at your rivals is something. But I also go back to the con community. There really isn't rivalries with this stuff. Everyone's just going to enjoy it. Unless you're on like the same weekend at the same time. I guess that would be a rivalry.
yeah, that's
but,
that's head-to-head
that's
competition.
different.
Then.
That's head.
Yeah,
But
and
like,
I don't think anybody's trying to compete with the Dragon Con San Diego or New York. I don't think anybody's trying to fight with them. I think that it is a celebration situation where I think that everybody that was at Huntsville would obviously enjoy being at Birmingham, and the Huntsville people, I'm sure, would love for Birmingham to be as successful and so on and so
yeah.
forth. That was the one booth that I didn't make it to, and I very specifically wanted to because it's our hometown con. But I look forward to that one. Look forward to that one as well.
I am disappointed to inform our viewers that I was unable to find Trash Panda artwork. It was not able to be done. We looked, and there was nothing. So sad days, but we looked.
Nor did we get a chance to tell anybody, hey, you should be doing Trash Panda stuff.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of local guys like Sean Day. You'll see our interview with him coming out, but he's from Montgomery. He's been to Huntsville before. There are some a lot of local people involved with the Huntsville con. So I don't know. Maybe this gets enough views to where they hear it, and next year there'll be Trash Panda stuff all over the place.
Yes, that's their goal. It's just we'll just tell every artist at Birmingham, hey, go to Huntsville next year. Draw Trash Panda stuff.
100%.
Throw away your loyalty to the Barons. Join the Trash Panda side.
I would love to see somebody with specific Baron art, and we go over there and be like, "Hey, cut it, cut it out,
Stop it."
Yes,
We
I
can
am
start
actually
an
going to
artist
a-
rivalry of Baron gear versus Trash Panda gear. Maybe make one, Sith, one Jedi. Obviously, Trash Panda's Jedi.
Yeah, obviously.
I am actually going to a Barons game next month because UAB's doing a thing for, I think it's named ECMO Heroes, but I'm not an ECMO hero. I didn't do it, but they're doing a suite and everything for, I assume they're inviting lots of people, but I'll get something while I'm there, so we can compete.
there we go. Well, going
The
back to
competition
fuck
starts
Folgers,
here.
yeah, going back to fuck Folgers, we can also be like fuck the Barons. What's our poll situation? every episode we just find two similar things to pit against one another.
Let's think of some other things that happened at Huntsville that we haven't hit on yet.
I got to
Cody, we
meet
had another
Phil.
interesting experience at Korean barbecue.
Yeah. There's
Yeah, we did.
So far, we're two for two with not being great at that.
and I wish I could
This one
run
wasn't so
up
bad.
of that
This
restaurant.
one
so we
wasn't so
can-
bad. Just the what are you saying, Fiona?
I was just saying, I wish I could. I think the restaurant might have just been named Korean Barbecue Restaurant.
And revolving sushi.
Yeah.
They had a revolving sushi bar.
Was it-
That was pretty cool.
Was it in a strip mall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. A
And,
lot of the time,
yeah.
their
It was
names are
great.
just.
Food was delicious. We've got food reviews coming. But
I'm just thinking
we-
of that. I'm just thinking of that scene from Bridesmaids. Just, it's the best. It's authentic.
there
I
was. Go ahead.
said I also added to my collection a new for alligator card. As I'm trying to collect all the for alligator cards, I was able to grab this bad boy at
Nice.
Huntsville. So
So what's the goal there?
to get all the for alligator cards that they've made so far. is my
What
goal.
do you have and what are you missing?
So they're at home. I'm missing a lot of like the big ones. This is one of the big ones. This is an older Neo Destiny card, so that would have been around 2002. So the original gold silver card run. I've got some other ones. Like I've got this one, which is a hard one, which is the only non-water type one. I believe there aren't a lot of for alligator cards, so it's not a lot hard to do. But there are some new ones that are pretty expensive that just came out this year. So I'll have all my cards when I go back to Kentucky, but I don't have them on me. So
We'll have to add a social media tracker and update to Matt's journey to the master set for alligator.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 for alligator cards. And I think I've got like 7 or 8 of them so far. So
Okay, so the journey isn't even halfway complete. So
not yet. But I do have a
Like,
lot of the older ones actually. So it's getting these middle age ones that are going to be the hard thing to do.
The connoisseur searches for a 3-star.
Yep.
there we go.
I'm looking for my tree star.
But another con highlight for me. Well, I have a couple actually. I got to meet Phil Lamar. I know I talked about it on the preview. Voice of Hermes. Obviously, so many other things. Also Marvin in Pulp Fiction for a little live action role for Phil Lamar. Super talented, super nice. And
We
he
peed
talked.
together.
What's that now?
Cut that.
We peed together. Yeah.
We said we're cutting this. We cannot talk about that.
I think it's an important note.
I mean,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do you think
that's
that
for
the
Cody
viewer
and the
wants to
fan.
know?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think he wants the people to know that he was around you doing that.
he tinkles like the rest of us, you know. Tag him.
We're gonna
Don't cut it.
we're
Tag
gonna
him.
we're gonna get canceled.
He did the Hermes voice though, and then signed my Hermes picture with my manwich. That was a lot of fun. And then I got to meet Matt was with me. We both got to meet Gray. Of course, I'm blanking on her name. Gray
Wow.
Delisle Griffin, voice of also so many characters. But what I know her from best is Azula, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and she might do the most fantastic. They all do. The whole entire cast does a fantastic job, but it's a very dynamic character, falling in, starts, already pretty evil, but gets worse and crazier as the show progresses, and she just brings that through her voice acting so well. And then she was not evil and not crazy at all in person. She was lovely.
Yeah.
That's good.
Good.
That's good. Yeah.
She's delightful. Spared a lot of time just to chat and visit and talk about her work and her life. We missed her for the interviews, but she's on my list to try and get her on the show in some form or fashion at one point. She was very, very sweet.
Yeah. I also completed probably one of my coolest autograph pieces. I'm going to show this one off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That is
super cool.
Ashley Eckstein and Matt Lanter, both on this print with the "I am no Jedi" quote, and "Then you will die" on there. It's one of my coolest pieces for sure. It's one of my favorite pieces that I have in my collection, which I got a lot of cool ones for this one. Like when I got Gray for Zula and Catwoman, because she was Catwoman in the Arkham games.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I left with a lot of autographs and meeting a lot of people that I hadn't before. We slipped into the end of Zachary Levi's line after we got a photo op with him, and and yeah, so we got the photo with all four of us. My dad came with us. And my dad is a huge fan of Zachary Levi's show Chuck. So I got that photo op for all of us. And as we were going around at the end of the day on Saturday, because he was only there on Saturday, his line had no one in it. And I was like, hey, let's see if they've cut his line off. And they're like, no, they have cut it off. And he was just like, he recognized all of us. And we got to talk to him for a little bit because there was no one behind us. And so we were able to get a little bit of talking about Chuck, talking about the Rams. That was nice. He was an awesome dude.
Perhaps the most attractive man I've ever spoken to in person.
Yeah, let AJ take over this part of the story now, because Matt and I thought that he was having a stroke.
Yeah.
So we go to the photo op, and obviously he's cool and nice in there, and we gave a fist bump and appreciate your work, and he said, "Oh, thank you," and our photo is fantastic. I think we all, everybody in the photo looks great. But on our way to him Saturday, on our way to get the signature, he looked over with this twinkle in his eye, and he winked and finger gunned. I don't even know if he actually winked or finger gunned, but I felt like that was something going on here. And then he smiled, and there's this like bling. I don't know if anybody else saw that, but that's what I was getting. Got this silver fox beard going on. There were feelings, there were stirrings, and it's not, Cody, it's not like I haven't had my boy crushes over the years. Obviously we all know how I feel about Zac Efron and Denzel Washington specifically, but Jimmy Garoppolo when at his peak with the 49ers. But wow, I was smitten. I was smited, maybe smited by Smith. I don't, as they say, somebody says that. And he was nice. I wasn't just judging him on his, not just judging on his impeccable jawline and smile and body.
Yeah, Cody, do you remember our first review after Lexington, how I was about Devora Wild? I think AJ might have been worse with Zachary Levi.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a heart attack. Yeah. Well, I mean, Kenyatta, at least like what you had going on was, natural, normal for you. You knew that was something. I had no idea. And I was like, damn, oh, again, stirrings, but like, appropriate stirrings.
Yeah. Something
Consensual
else we did
stirrings. It felt like it was like together, like he looked at me, I looked at him. I don't know. Anyway.
to get off AJ's man crush for a little bit. Something we did get to see, which was pretty cool. In the photo op area, the actor who played Art the Clown, David Howard Thornton, from the Huntsville area, he proposed to his girlfriend, and we got to see that live. To see through the curtain as his family were there and see that proposal. He's made that public that they did that, and so did the cons. So I feel like we can share that. It was pretty cool. A pretty cool moment to see live there at the convention. He did it in the full makeup too, like full straight up Art the Clown makeup. So that was cool.
Which tells me that she enjoys the genre. She enjoys probably cons too. All of it, everything about that. His family was there, or their family was there. I don't know who belonged to who, obviously, but people were just coming out of the folds, just wiping tears. It was a beautiful thing. Cons are a beautiful thing, man. Like we got people saving lives. We got people getting married. It's just it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Let's see. Anybody else have anything to show off that they got as I look through my stuff? I'm not gonna show off all mine.
I'll show off a little of our friend Sean Day's art here. Of course, I got Wolverine there. And the other thing I got, I'm not going to show off because it's for Cody, and I'd like for him to see it in person first. And then also I got another piece from him for our friend Nathan, a Ninja Turtle piece. He once again does great work. Hope to see him again. Hopefully, maybe I don't know if we asked him if he was going to be at Birmingham or not, but hopefully we see him there and other friends. And can't wait for you, Cody, to go and to do a con with you because you're an integral piece. We wouldn't have Puck Folgers, and they over roast the beans. So
yeah. So one of the art pieces I got was from a James Mulligan. He works with Disney, and anyone who knows me and Disney knows that Oswald is my favorite of the traditional Mickey characters, Disney characters. And I got this awesome Oswald print.
That is
Look
really
at
awesome.
him. Yeah. So you don't get a lot of Oswald art.
I have watched a lot
Matt
of
also
Mickey.
got these for Michaela.
Nice.
Yeah, Jimmy Mulligan, I think he's like a 30-year vet in Disney art. Hopefully we'll have him on the show at some point. But
that is actually another. Sorry, AJ. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
That's another.
I didn't
nerdy
have a thought
thing
to finish, so you say me.
I was just gonna say that's another nerdy thing that I did that I didn't think of because rabbit holes on YouTube happen. One of the things I watched was one of the animators from Disney. I think he worked there in the 80s, and I'm not gonna think of his name, but it was super cool to watch him just pull up a character and then draw that character perfectly, and even animate some of them just immediately. Like it took him 45 seconds. It's super cool to watch people who can do that.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, people who are just amazingly talented. Speaking of Disney, though, Cody, I meant to tell you that during our interaction with Ross, James Marsden walked by us a few times, and he was standing there. As a matter of fact, Ross got out of his own booth to go hang out and talk to him, and so did
Jason Marsden.
Yes, cut the James. Yeah, but Jason Marsden.
Yeah,
and it was just cool to see him. There were a couple of people that I thought about again, I peed with Phil Lamar. There are a couple of people that I've thought about just reaching out to, like,
We need
randomly, but we wanted to stay in bounds with our press passes. So
that on merch. I peed with Phil Lamar.
I think we're building a foundation where things like that, right game, wrong squirrel, I peed with Phil Lamar. I think that we're building a fuck Folgers.
They
They
over roast the
they
beef.
over roast the beef. So stay tuned, singular fan. You'll have a merch shop all to yourself.
Fuck Folgers is perfect for a koozie too.
Man,
Yeah, fuck Folgers is perfect for anything. Like, I think that that's just our show slogan now.
Speaking of some of the things we didn't get to, weekend flies by. There's a lot to do, a lot trying to fit in, but coffee related, we didn't get to take a sampling of Did I Brew That? AJ was trying his best to get some Did I Brew That in his mouth.
Well, what I did end up getting in my mouth was a bunch of marvelous transfusions, and that derailed a lot of my other goals. So, classic me. But San Jaleel White was neat. Like, he was right there. There's Steve Urkel. Just one of the most iconic humans of the last 100 years. It was neat to see him.
how what the drink counter get to?
Jesus. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that good, but it wasn't that bad.
I was just about to ask that, Matt, because I wanted to know if Cody had been in attendance here, how many hot dogs he would have had to eat. Can you ballpark it for us?
If we're going 1 for 1,
Yeah, we're going.
when do we
for
start
one.
it? Do we start it? Do we start it? Because I definitely popped the first one at your house, hang out of. So
Well, I think it would
I
be
think
up
we
to
started
Cody.
I think we started at the con. I don't want to get up in the morning and have to start pounding hot
Want
dogs.
to pregame with some dogs?
breakfast dogs.
You're gonna have 3 glizzies at the hotel. Damn it!
Okay, so if we're not counting hotel beers, it wasn't that bad. I probably had 6 transfusions at the con Saturday.
Is that the
And
actual
2
name of a drink? Is that marvelous transfusions? Okay.
Yeah, great. It's grapefruit and grapefruit juice, vodka, other things. I could find it, but it's really not worth finding. But yeah, it's a regular drink. It's delicious. I know vodka, grape juice, ginger ale, lime juice. Yeah, found it.
That's not
And it was
bad.
the only thing that I saw over the weekend that was very specifically, like, name changed or whatever for the con. We did end up finding out that there was a restaurant in the building that was operating during the time. They probably had some stuff. I know there was some stuff around the area that was had some discounts and everything, but most of our dinners took place outside of downtown Huntsville. So it was a lovely drink. It was refreshing and alcoholic, and that is 2 of my favorite things when it comes to drinking things. So
Makes sense.
Yeah,
call it 30 total beverages from the time that I walked in the doors Saturday to the time we left Sunday.
all right. So a 15 glizzy day Saturday. So 15 glizzies a day Saturday.
no
and
problem.
Sunday. Not a problem. Yeah,
No problem.
yeah. AJ, you got to
I
pick it
can't
up.
wait.
You got to give Cody a challenge.
We do have to
No,
wait.
I don't know that I can't.
We do need to wait till after, because what if I got the call 12 hot dogs deep I don't want.
No
Yeah.
wonder he needs a heart. There's hot dogs spewing out of it. Is there something heart healthy we can eat, like cans of green beans per?
I don't know that there's anything I could match you beer for beer with that is heart healthy.
Yeah, I don't even know if drinking as much water as I drink beer is a positive.
No.
That is one thing about Iron City Con. At least the last time we went, they did not serve alcohol at the event.
What I am excited for Iron City is again that we have intimate knowledge with the city and the surrounding eateries.
Yeah.
So I believe
Yeah,
that
I was gonna say that we can definitely find some good places.
Really
I'm just
start.
glad I
yeah,
don't
we
have to
get some-
bankroll this next one.
yeah, that and again, thank you so much for being the bankroll to all of these. But yeah, this one's take a break. Take a break, Chief. You've earned it.
Yeah, absolutely. But we can definitely start pumping in some good carnivore. I mean, we've got enough to and plan on soon for our viewer and or our listener. Plan on getting some carnivore stuff up sooner rather than later. But I think Birmingham will be an excellent opportunity to really pump up carnivore content for the foodies, or if the viewer / listener is a foodie. If not,
We have one listener on Apple Music. We have 14 viewers on YouTube.
yes.
So many follow us on YouTube.
Our 15 fans. That's for the 15 fans to decide. No, but part of this goal is food driven, and I was kind of disappointed with what the Von Braun Center offered, and that may not be on them. I'm not trying to condemn their situation. I may not have just found my way to where it needed to be. Well, we had a lot going on this weekend. I think that it was great for the pod. It was great connecting with so many people, and we got some business cards passed out. And real quick, I'd like to shout out Good Michael, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Michael, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like to shout out Good Michael and not necessarily say why specifically here.
He's a
but,
real one.
Hey, friend of the show, Good Michael.
Friend of the show.
Michael, absolutely. Another worker at the expo, didn't catch her name, but if she ever listens, the wonderful lady working and organizing the photo booth lines. It was a hell of a job. I mean, it was a hell of a job for anyone to undertake. But she did it as well as anybody possibly could have. It was a madhouse in that area, and she had to project and get loud. But
Talk about commanding the room. Yeah,
she did a wonderful job. I wish I'd gotten her name. I wish I'd given her.
Her name was Danielle.
Was it Danielle? Okay, awesome.
Yep.
Cool. Shout out Danielle.
Only reason I know that is because of fan groups on Facebook.
Okay,
for the con. It's posted in there.
Okay.
So that's a good resource if you're listening to the pod. Join your fan groups on Instagram, Facebook. You'll find out a ton of information and get you ready to go to these cons that you're going to for the first time. Reddit has some too. If you just take a peek at those, you can kind of get a little bit of the lay of the land of where you're going. Dragon Con has one of the best ones if you're planning on going to Dragon Con. But if you're planning on coming to Dragon Con, just send us a DM and we'll tell you all about Dragon Con.
That is a pro tip from the connoisseur himself, lady and or gentleman.
Hashtag pro tip.
Should we
connoisseur tip just for a second, just to see how it feels.
We gotta cut that.
All right, speaking of one more person that we said that we would give a shout out to, we didn't catch this person's name, even though we kind of tried. But for HalloCon in Cleveland, it'll take place in October, and podcast
Cleveland, Georgia. right?
Was that
Cleveland, Georgia.
or Cleveland, Tennessee?
Cleveland, Tennessee.
Yeah, Cleveland, Tennessee. I'm sorry, I said Cleveland. Yes, that need to be specific because no one's going to think Cleveland, Tennessee when they hear Cleveland. Cleveland, Tennessee, HalloCon, sometime in October. You can go to hallocon.com. I think it's got the counter on. We're going to try and make it. And Stupid O'Clock, the podcast stream that they do. I think you can find them on Facebook.
Y'all got anything else?
No, I don't have anything else. That seems to be a good wrap
Well,
up of this con.
yeah, we had a good time. No complaints. Again, it was I think not so much a shocking venue, but it definitely wasn't what I was expecting it to be. But for the most part, everything flowed pretty well, and everybody that we met and connected with was just lovely. And I think that we can all say we'll definitely be back to that one. The guest list was great, the panels were great, the vendors were all amazing as they always are. Anybody that we've mentioned tonight will put below in the description. Look for the interviews coming, the food reviews for Carnivore coming, and I believe that's basically it.
What? There's our cut.
They over roast the beans.